Then clone M's. Okay, so that's own. Like and or Donkey Kong. Alright, so that's on. Yay, it's working. When you fight crime hard, you need hard nipples. What? I know it's a Tuesday, so. But man, I think it'll be this dead. This is underrated sub to you. I will shout you out, brother. Any of the first one to get it. Ah, it's cool, man. Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, dude. Yeah, spread the word if you can. What's up, Koopa70? People on YouTube. Simulcasting from whatnot. Right now I'm trying to find all my crap. Yes, for a price. You can also check out my Kickstarter at the link or go to FWACATA.com and see all my artwork and the link to my Kickstarter if you guys are interested. What's up, Babu? Had a hell of a time starting whatnot today. It was just like wasn't loading for some reason. I had to come in and out, come in and out. Just gonna be drawing MEATHOOK today and hanging out. What's going on with you? Thank you, sir. As always, I'm gonna take you to a con one day. You're gonna be my booth babe. How do you feel about G strings? Aw, all right, that's awesome, dude. That's the kind of stuff I want to hear, dude. As long as they can appreciate it and it brings them something. I hope I did justice to his likeness. It's funny that portraiture thing, man. Like it wasn't a planned thing. I do stuff here and there. I've been doing pet portraits, and I got this gig now doing wedding portraits sometimes. It's freelance. It's not much on it, but it tends to be pretty fast because most of the time people just want a small thing. But it's an interesting thing. You get to know the people, get to know what's important to them. Mm-hmm. And friends' weddings. Oh, that's cool. Pricey, yeah. I never got into the live printing thing. I had a friend that was like super pushing me into doing that, but I don't know, man. I feel like a fucking clown doing that shit. It's like something about. I don't mind being an artist. I consider myself an artist, but if I have to act like an artist, I instantly want to like just set fire to everything and run away. It's just stupid to me. I don't want to fucking do that. I gotta wear a beret and be like bitching about life. with that wedding and yeah, no, wedding stuff is crazy. I have a friend that she does that for a living. She just does the wedding photographs, but she does like destination weddings, so it's kind of cool. She's always posting like from crazy places like Hawaii or North Dakota or France and stuff like that. And she does these really insane weddings for it, and I'm like, oh, like wow, you know. And I know she charges like crazy because they have to like cover her stay, they cover the thing. I mean, she doesn't run it; it's her friend, but it's just like, what the fuck? I don't know. I mean, if you got the mots, you got the mots. You know what I'm saying? When I was in college, I used to work for a catering company that was part of the restaurant that I worked at. So I would bartend. They would tell me like, "Hey, you want to go this weekend to Charlotte, South Carolina, and fucking do a wedding?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it." You know, you get extra cash, and they most of the time had a place to crash and shit, or they would give you like a stipend and be like, you figure out where to crash. And then I had luckily friends up there that had a place for me to crash, and I did that for a while. And I remember we did one wedding. It was a wedding for a Chevron executive or something. I know that was like the underpinning. Everyone said it was like the vice president or even president of Chevron. I don't know. I remember the name was like Havercraft or something like that. It was a very waspy ass event. And luckily, I was the bartender for the smoking area, so all the dregs of society were over there. They were like, "Do you want to handle the smoking section?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it, fine." I didn't mind it because I smoked myself, so I could have a drag here and there while I'm working. Yeah, we're supposed to be consummate professionals. And that wedding, like, people came in their yachts. Look at that way. That's how there were sailboats and yachts. Like, people had to park yachts. So that's how pricey, crazy it was. And I remember the one thing that got me was a guy that showed up with a suitcase handcuffed to his hand. And there was a guy that, yeah, you didn't see this elbow. With a thing handcuffed to his hand, and I was like, okay. And he came up to me and one of the other bartenders were like, we were like shelling out booze to the different places, and he was like, oh, you know, where's the manager? So and so. I'm like, oh yeah, it's over here. Blah blah blah. He went over there, and he was all very official. And then the guy that ran the whole thing, my buddy of mine, my manager, he had to sign off on it. They received this thing, and the guy uncuffed himself from the fucking thing, handed him the case, and then pretty much told him that he had like $100,000 in his hand or something like that. I don't know. And it was this is back in 1998, 99. I want to say it's before the millennium. And the guy told him like it was or $10,000. I don't know what the fuck. And it was all beluga caviar, Russian beluga caviar inside. I remember there was a big tin in the middle, like that big, and then there was like a bunch of smaller ones. And they had like this yellow label, yellow and red label with a bunch of Russian shit on it. And then at that time, I was dating a girl that worked with me, and she had to go and put it out with like the little stick with the crackers and all this other stuff. The crackers were even expensive, and I was just like, man, these crackers are expensive. And you know, I was talking about the white people, but these crackers are expensive. And yeah, man, slowly it was like crazy money. When they went out, everybody had to have a piece. And I remember afterwards, like way afterwards, when their doors were done, they were already serving dinner. I could take a break because you know the drinks and everything else. Not many people were going to go to the smoking section at that moment. And in that, when that girlfriend and it came up to me and says, "Do you want to try this shit?" Like, because you know, it's fucking like $100 a little fucking can or some shit like that. So I'm like, yeah, let's fucking break, you know. So I took a cracker and I put some of the stuff on it and I ate it. Man, it just, I don't know, it tasted like the ocean. Like, did not get it. I was like, okay, so this is expensive, right? Like, I got it. I was like, it's probably one of the most expensive things in the world to ever eat. I don't even think you can eat Russian beluga caviar anymore. I think it's illegal or something because they're endangered. So there you go. I think that's crazy. I mean, I guess if you can do it, do it. If it brings you true happiness, why not? But fuck that. I think a wedding, what it needs to have is an open fucking bar and good fucking tunes. That's like it. Like that's all it needs. Good fucking food. You know, I'm Cuban, so it'll be like roast pork or something like that. Or if my Mexican side will say fucking some good fucking bomb ass tacos. Everybody can have a bomb ass taco. So I'm drawing MEATHOOK, which is a character I created years ago. And I've done a couple of comics about him, mostly a webcomic called Vigil that I did for a good couple of years on GraphicSmash.com. And I'm not gonna lie, he's my Wolverine fucking ripoff. He's like my projection of it. The only thing is that he's Latino and he's like more magic based than anything. That's what I'm really going for with him. And I have a whole mythos and story and everything else. And if you ever go and you see my anthology, FWACATA, the FWACATA anthology, which is on Kickstarter right now, go ahead and go and support it and stuff. Um, you can read a lot of his stories on there. You can also go to Webtoons and check stuff out there. So check over here. 92 Andes. Hey, what's up? Koopa70 and Andes is asking about drawing them. Yeah, man, if you hire me, you know. No such thing as Cuban tacos. Believe it or not. Cubans do not like spicy food. That's the dichotomy of me existing. I'm okay with spicy food, but there's some shit that after a while, like, if it's, if it just brings you this close to death, I don't know if that's a flavor. Like, I don't think that's a flavor. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't almost kill you. So he's just this big muscle bound guy. He's not really invulnerable, but he is super strong. So he can jump kind of high. He has like advanced, um, what's it called? Advanced reflexes. He's physically like superior to most human beings. He is what's called an anomaly in my world. I don't do superheroes or mutants. They're called anomalies. And what it is that the Earth has somehow come through a certain section of the universe, and the theory is that our consciousness is now affecting the universe way more. And so because of it, certain superhuman abilities are happening. And it happens because the person manifests, when they manifest their abilities, they affect themselves. So everybody's living in almost like their own reality as far as how their powers work. That's come no power works the same sometimes. So it's hard to physiologically get them down. If that all makes fucking sense. So then he doesn't give a fuck about being like a world class superhero. He doesn't care about like being some cool guy or getting like money for what he's doing. He just wants to protect his neighborhood. That's his main thing. But his neighborhood's Miami, so Miami can be full of douchebags. So it's hard for him to fight crime with so many douchebags. So sometimes he has to fight in crappy gear. Like he has to buy his gym shorts from fucking Ross. And stuff like that. So if you want to read more about him, go to FWACATA.com. You can read some of his stories there. You can also pick up FWACATA issue 1 and 2 on the Kickstarter. Just follow the link on there or on here for you guys that just came in. Oh, heads up, my Batman card should be out soon. I haven't posted anything yet because I can't post anything out yet about it. But I can say that the Batman sketch cards that I did should be out soon, and I might be doing some Batman cards for that. I only have about two sets that I'm going to be doing for it, but I did about 30 cards for the actual set. So those should be out soon. And I am in talks now about, oh, you know what, I don't want to talk about it, but I might be working on something for San Diego Comic-Con that if everything comes through, I will be at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm still waiting to hear word back. I really severely doubt it's going to happen, so that's how I stop myself from saying it. I don't want to jinx it. Because also, just schedule-wise, the fucking summers are short for teachers, man. That sucks ass. So he has these claws that pop out of his hands. He does have a healing factor. Like I say, he can jump real high. He can run pretty fast. But it's not super speed, you know what I'm saying? He's bald. He has a beard. Yep. Hey, Eddie, what's going on? Eddie at Comic Exposure. I was just talking to John a little while ago, brother. I'm on board. I'm just going to see what files we have and what needs to be done. I'm just finishing this week. It's the last week of school for me. So I'm an art teacher right now. So I'm really busy just winding that up. So yeah, so I have a lot of plans with this character and the world around it. So I'm gonna be hopefully banging out some stuff for this. I'm just going forward with a lot of stuff. I was just waiting, like, oh, maybe I'll publish it here, and oh, maybe I'm like, fuck it, I'll just publish it myself. And that's why I'm doing the Kickstarter, bro. Just to get my comics out. I'm gonna get them out one way or another. I was thinking of just doing digital comics and everything, but I want a fucking physical comic, man. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I like a physical fucking thing, dude. It's like I posted the other day. I mean, everybody's like, Stan Lee really didn't say that. I'm like, I know, but still, I like quoting it. That comics are like boobs. You know, they're nice to look at, but I'd rather hold them. That's how I just feel about comics, man. I like having a physical thing that I can flip through and look at and ponder. Let's dry a little bit. So he just runs around with no shirt on, with a big iron cross on his chest, which people have asked, "What's up with the iron cross?" You will see. I have ideas. There are plans. So this image is just a promo image I'm trying to put together for a larger thing. I'm planning, because I'm well on my way of finishing. Issue 3 is done, and I'm about to finish issue 4 of FWACATA. So I'm well on my way of doing a whole year. And when I was doing a whole year, I was thinking, what if I did an annual? And I thought it would be cool if I did an annual also, so that I can get some of the old stories that have never been in print, that have been web stories or what have you, and put them in the book. So I'm planning to do that too. And when I do that, I'm planning to put a lot of the characters in it on the cover. I want to do something cool. That's my plan anyway. Damn, I had to use that dark ass pencil here. Oh, white out. Planning to do this black and white anyway. Could be too. Would you? Oh wow, cool, dude. Metallica. That's cool that they're on tour. Like I said, man, I'm all old school Metallica. Everything before the Black Album. There's stuff in the Black Album and even in the later albums that are okay, you know. But I don't know. There's just some stuff that I'm just like, eh. I think when Bob Ross was a producer, because now they have Rick Rubin, and Rick Rubin's a shit producing some of their stuff, so it shouldn't be. By the way, I did see finally Captain America, the last one with Sam Wilson. Why did everybody hate that? I didn't think it was amazing. I didn't think it was that good, but it wasn't bad. It was fucking entertaining as shit. Everybody had some kind of fucking hard on for this Captain America movie. And I was just like, dude, that was so stupid. And I just, yeah, I thought it was dumb. I was just like, okay, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. Bad it wasn't. Now, was it like life changing, holy shit, fucking like stuff? No, okay, it's not Shakespeare. But I didn't want Shakespeare. I want fucking Falcon. I want Red Hulk. I want fucking stupid shit. I don't know. So I think all these people that went off on that movie are a bunch of assholes. And I think it's a lot of people just having kind of weird racist tendencies with Sam Wilson being Captain America. Like, there is a very sharp pull. I do. I heard they could have replaced Cap with any other Avenger in the story with. Yeah, I could say maybe that to a certain degree. I mean, if you watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier and him coming over, becoming Captain America, and everything else, you kind of, you know, like you can kind of see where it's at. The thing is, they're not doing what they should be doing. If you're going to be a black Captain America, right? Why isn't he fighting the racial injustice? Why not have him beat the fuck out of some Klansmen or some neo Nazis or, you know, deal with racial problems and inequalities? You know, go deep in it. Nobody wants that. That's like box office poison or too controversial. So they're not going to do anything like that. So that's where you're going to have all your problems. That's why it seems fake. Even The original Captain America in the comics did a bunch of different shit. Like he was like out and about and he fought things and he lost his shield for a while. That's how the Nomad character came around at one point. You know, and Nomad was another thing that, you know, like a moniker of Steve Rogers when he was on his own and everything else. They will not do that shit. And so, well, you know, that's the thing. You're not giving them a real storyline. It always comes down to the same bullshit. You're giving them some bullshit fucking storyline that kind of is like a placeholder until you get another white guy or something like that. So, if there was something like that, they kind of dealt with some of that with when they did the Black Panther stuff. But even then, they were like shrugging it off. They don't want to get into it. Then we don't want to talk about, you know, slavery. And it would have been interesting if they talked about how there were black tribes that sold black people to, you know, what's it called? Slave traders. You know, there were black slave traders, and there were this kind of slave trade. And go into the history of it, and it's like, you know what? It comes down to evil motherfuckers, and what you do, the catharsis in there, the big thing is when you get the evil motherfuckers, you blast them in the face, and that's how you make a story good, especially a superhero story. Superhero story is a fantasy, right? The fantasy of somebody inflicting justice on somebody, I think. And people don't explore that enough in what their stories are. They rather do it fluff. They rather have rather have that idea of like the ambiguousness of it. Like that idea of like, you know, is the Punisher doing the right thing? It's like, come on, man. If it's a fucking child molester and he's blowing them up and setting them on fire, are we really gonna sit there and be like, is this the right thing? Or are we gonna fucking root for it? Is it right? No, but that's the escapist philosophy, you know? Yeah, man. Those are the fucking stories that they need. There you go. Yeah. And hopefully they're gonna do something with that. Because there's this they're still whitewashing those characters. You know what I'm saying? Like some people didn't like Falcon because he was cocky and he was kind of an asshole kid. And I know some Miamians that didn't like him because he represented it. But I'm like, dude, the kid played it right. I'm from Miami, and I'll tell you right now, we're cocky assholes, and that's how we deal with things. So I mean, I thought that was a great play. Kid was awesome. I liked the new Falcon. So I'm all for it, man. If they could do more shit like that, that'll be fun. And yeah, they should totally have, you know, some of the best stories. Like I remember Black Panther being in South Africa, and it was an anti-apartheid story. Dude, do that shit. I would love to see that. And do the slave trade. Around now. There's still slaves out there. Have the fucking Avengers fighting that shit. You know, again, it's just escapist. And who's gonna protest that, bro? Who's gonna go and say that's not right? We don't want to see that. You fucking assholes. Bring attention to this horrible shit that's going on. Like, did you guys hear about what happened to the guy who was the voice of Red Corn in King of the Hill? He got shot. Yes, Joss. Dude, that's fucking horrendous, man. That to me is so fucked up. I read about like the letter that was written by his partner and stuff. Dude, that shit fucking his husband. That's fucking dude. If I'm like, all right, if you're Hollywood and you have all this power and you have all this other bullshit going on, dude, where's the protest for that? Where's the fucking remember his name for that, dude? I would gather and garner every fucking favor and anything and go after not only the motherfucker that pulled the trigger, but I would go after fucking the piece of shit police force that did nothing about it. Because from what it sounds like, they didn't do shit. And let me tell you, friends, I've seen a little bit of it here being in Texas. Not El Paso so much. I have to admit, you got your commonplace assholes here and there. But I've heard some shit from New Mexico, Arizona, Oklahoma. places like McAllen, all those other places, and they'll tell you straight up, man. It's like, dude, be careful. Don't be in this area after dark, this and that, because there's some racist pieces of shit running around, and they got their shit down. Yep, that's some fucking bullshit, dude. I'm furious at that. Nobody deserves to be treated like that. And if they find this fucker, man, I'm not an advocate for the death penalty. I really feel rather that they should put the rest of their lives paying back that life that they took. But if they decided to hang that piece of shit, I would not be against it. Because, dude, to what degree, To what degree do you have to be like that? They really need to go after that motherfucker. And they really need to, I again, like I said, if Hollywood has this power and they're all about rallying and all this bullshit that they say, dude, do something about it, bro. Burn a motherfucker down. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and good. Yeah, that's good to hear about Louisiana. Sometimes I've heard some things. Some people have given wayward advice about that place. But I mean, I look, man. I was born and raised in the South. I was in Miami. I was in Florida. I've been in Georgia. I have family in Atlanta. I've been all over the southern states, up and down. So I know where there's good and there's bad. And it happens. It doesn't. There's locations, sure, but I know there's other ones that are not like that. I know it's not representative of the South. But yeah, there was a guy in New Mexico. I was reading about it while watching a video about it on YouTube, and there was a dude in jail killing child molesters. He had killed 3, and they interviewed him in jail, and he says, "I fucked up." It's like, "Oh, because you killed him?" It's like, "No, I jumped the gun. I could have killed 7 or 8 of them if they had given me a chance." Because there's this whole place in the child line when they get out. It's like a holding pen. He had a name for it. I forgot the name that he had for it. But it's pretty much a cage. It's like another cage where they're all waiting to get back to their cells. And when they lock them up in there, there's no way out. They're there for that moment, and they're fucking. And that's where I don't know how he killed them, but he supposedly murdered 3 child molesters, um, in jail. And he said he'll do it again. And he already had killed his bunkmate, who was also a child molester. And he had told them, "Do not put these fucking child molesters in my cell." And he warned them a bunch of times, and they didn't do it. So all I could see is after watching that, I was like, "All right, where do we pin the medal on him? He's doing a fucking service." And it's funny because there's people that they try to, like, the reporter's trying to, like, communicate to him, right? Like, "Hey, you're killing. That's wrong." And he's like, "No, it's not. I'm not killing people." And I'm just like, "Holy shit!" Like, he's just like, if he keeps this up, he could run for fucking office, public office, with that kind of fucking attitude. Because that's a lot of ways that people think. Again, I don't believe in taking anybody's life. I think every life is sacred, no matter who it is. It's up to God. But, but if shit hits the fan, man, what am I going to do? Some wild shit. I know. I know, right? I was just like, how do I? Can I send them comic books? Like, can I send them something? I don't know. It, it's interesting when being a reader of comic books, right? I start studying as much as I can of real vigilantism because I always wonder, like, what stops us from wearing a mask and going to the street? Now, obviously, the part of it is, well, what training, knowing what to do, you know, being, right now you go and there's somebody that, I don't know, holding somebody hostage in their house, and there's somebody in it, you're gonna bust in, you shoot him. What if you shoot him wrong? What if you hit the hostage? What if you end up killing yourself? You know, like there's so many angles to the vigilantism and the idea of doing the right thing and whatever else. And it's an interesting idea. So anytime a real version of it, I've always studied the shit out of it. And this idea that there's this guy in prison and he's there for life. He's like he's not getting out anytime soon. So only he had the longest like was it not stake off whatever uh with the prison. He took over a prison tower for 2 weeks or something like that. He has like the record. So he's in prison for the rest of his life. And so his hobby is to go around and kill all the child molesters. All the pieces of shit. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, you know? And I guess like if you thinking like that's it, there's nothing else that's gonna be happening for my life. I'm never gonna breathe free air again. Well shit. Standoff, thank you, Bravo. He has the longest standoff in history. It was in Arizona, I think it was, or New Mexico. I think it was Arizona. And I was like, holy shit. You know, like I thought that was such an interesting fucking thing because, again, that idea of taking justice in your own hands and deciding to like, okay, I'm gonna end this motherfucker today, and I can see why. I remember years ago they had this show and it was like the worst prisons in the world and blah blah. They always had that voice that meant everything was worse than it's. But this one was like Pelican Bay in like California and it was like the worst fucking prison, like the worst fuckers out there, gang members, clan members, bikers, mafia guys, like just shit, and it's all the worst, most violent prisoners inside there. And then they show this one part where a dude is just straight up saying like, "Man, if I get out again, I'm just gonna start killing, man. That's all it is to it. I'm gonna get this and this and that. Like, there's no redeeming me. I'm done. I'm gonna go." And I just sat there going, "What the fuck?" Like, motherfuckers just straight up saying like, "Ain't nothing you can do. I'm just gonna keep fucking killing. I just love killing." And I was just like, "Dude, gas these fuckers. Like, why are we keeping them around?" See, this is where I have that debate, that eternal debate in myself about, capital punishment. I have a friend who's a psychologist, and he has a master's in psychology and everything else. He's a cartoonist, actually, too. And he was telling me one day, he goes, schizophrenia, there's no fucking cure. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is just medicate them. That's all you can do. And then you're going to have episodes, and there's going to be times that they're going to break their medication, and some shit's going to happen. Hopefully, it'll be just running around in the streets being naked and crazy. But other times, it can be fucked up shit, like you're going to knife somebody and kill them. And I'm just like, damn. And it's like, and that's where you get to the point of like, what are you doing with these people? What's the idea? Because in the end, they're a danger to everybody, even themselves. What are you keeping around for? It's just a ticking time bomb. And I was like, whoa, it was a deep conversation we had. It was like over beers and a joint. So it's one of those like, oh shit, should we be talking about this? Like, fuck. Sorry if I put a bummer mood on that. Damn, everybody just walked out right now with that shit. Way to go, Juan. Like, people don't want to hear about that. They want to hear about superheroes. So yeah, so this is MEATHOOK. This is the character I'm created.
Pigs have the power, hand of God has struck the hour. Day of judgment, God is calling. On their knees, the war pigs crawling, begging mercy for their sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord,
Man, everybody left. You guys have any questions? Let me know. If you want to get see anything that is in my auction section. Oh man, I only have the hexware on there. It ain't. Mm. Bum, bum. These lines right here. Alright, so then now I think I'm gonna dry though, and then we'll do some white and we're done. If you guys have any questions, if you're looking to get anything, I got everything from sketch cards all the way up to 11 by 17. If you want to see your comic come to life, you can hire me too. Die, 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 die. Ah. I'll just put some white on this so when I scan it, I won't be able to compare it. I'll probably up the levels. That dry. And you can get a drawing like this, a 9 by 12 black and white for $35, like on the screen. I have everything from slaps, which are stickers, which, well, I can show this. Should have shown it while Bobbo was here. Was Bobbo over there? That was something I did recently. Went to view askew characters, all on one 9 by 12. You got characters from Zack and Miri and Dogma, Chasing Amy, Tusk, all in one place. Shiny clouds. And there you go. Just a little wipe down over here. And there you go. You got MEATHOOK. See some detail. A little OC action here. All right. I think I'm going to leave it at this. I'm going to get going, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back sometime this week. I think I'll probably be back Thursday. I think that's when I'm most likely going to be back on. And then I think I'm going to be Tuesday, Thursday for a while. That's what I'm planning to do. So you guys let me know if you're looking for anything to get done or anything like that. Hit me up. Go to FWACATA.com. Go to the Kickstarter. And I'll talk to you guys later.